Hi, friends. It's Chris Albert again. It's good to be here. And I'd like to share with you today a story about something that transpired in my life that has really made me who I am today. And a lot of you know that I'm very public about my views on racism and racial justice and social justice. And when I think about where this passion comes from, I really can tie it back, way back, to an experience that I had in high school. And I'd like to share that experience with you just so that you can kind of see how that experience really has embedded itself in me and has been a catalyst for a lot of who I am today. So it's a story about me as a 17-year-old girl. I was in high school, and in between classes, I stopped in what we called the lavatory. I stopped in to go to the bathroom. And when I stepped into the lavatory, I smelled smoke. And so that meant that there were girls in there that were smoking. And so I stepped out of the lavatory. And as I stepped out into the hallway and looked up the hall, I saw the principal, Mr. Minnick, coming down the hallway, and his eyes were right on me. And I looked at him and I went, like, wasn't me. And then I left. Well, as it turns out, he waited outside that bathroom, and the girls that came out, he lined them all up against the wall out in the hallway and smelled their breath, and many of them had been smoking. And the ones that had been smoking got suspended. Well, at that point, I thought all was forgotten. But as time went on, as those girls were suspended, I became the target of some pretty severe bullying. It was assumed that I had, and the word at that time was I had narked. I had told on those girls for smoking, and that somehow it was my fault that they had gotten suspended. And so from then on, then the bullying began. And I was put up against lockers, by my clothing, put up against lockers. I was threatened while riding the bus. I was stared at, like the hairy eyeball, stared at when I was in their presence, but nothing could be done about it. They vandalized my home. They cut the clothesline. They smashed my mailbox with a baseball bat. They left dog feces on my front stoop. And I can remember laying in bed and thinking to myself, that when I was hearing sounds outside my window, and I think they were like doves or something along that, or yeah, I guess they were doves, like a hoo, 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 hoo. I was afraid that there were actually people outside, that those who were threatening me were outside of my window. It was a horrible time. At the time, I was also working a part-time job at a local fast food restaurant. And I remember sharing that I just had had enough. And I shared it with my manager at that time. And he actually called my parents and called the police and brought them all together for this secret meeting in his office. And it turned out that the police then intervened and talked to the ringleader of this group, and let her know that if she did any form of harassment or intimidation, that she would be, that she would face consequences. So all that to say, one of the things that I care very, very deeply about is the underdog, the one that, through no fault of their own, are taken advantage of, are oppressed, have been targeted, are receiving signs of hate. And I think that has become part of, really in a deep way, why I really, really care for the underdog. I will not tolerate when people in my presence are treating someone else in my presence with hatred or disdain or making fun of. It's almost like I put my mama bear on, and I will not allow people to take advantage or be unkind to other people, especially in my presence. If it happens in my presence, I am all over it. I will be all over it. And that's a pledge that I've made to myself. And it really guides who I am and what I do. So I just wanted to share that story with you, so that those of you who maybe know me but didn't know that part of me have a little bit more insight into kind of what drives me, and what was it that created this turning point in me that made me care so much about the underdog. So thanks for listening. I'll be sharing more stories on my vlog, and if you would follow the link in the comments to my YouTube channel, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can hear more stories and have access to more information as I put it out, whether it's programs, whether it's stories, whether it's words of wisdom, what have you. But do subscribe, and just click below in the link to do so. Thanks, and see you next time.